What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Redemption 46 Studios. I'm Nick.
And I'm Curtis.
You know the vibes. Y'all seen the picture. Y'all seen the thumbnail. Y'all know why y'all here. AleXa, Wonderland. I know nothing about this young lady. This is another comeback that was on the list. If you guys haven't been paying attention, basically we're gonna be taking especially like this first week outside of the choreo battles and some of the other stuff to get into like a lot of the comebacks. We're gonna be introducing ourselves and maybe some of the redeemers to new artists that we haven't reacted to at all. So yeah, I know nothing about this at all.
Yeah, part of me was curious. I wasn't sure if this was a group I'd missed personally or anything like that, or a soloist I'd missed.
I think this is just a soloist.
That's really intriguing then. So this will be new for both of us then.
Yep. Yeah. No long talk. Then we can jump right into this. This is your first time on the channel. You better hit that subscribe button, man, and also jump on the Patreon. There's gonna be a whole bunch of exclusive stuff like this all on there. So yeah. Shit, AleXa, you a fool for this one. The Alice in Wonderland moment. I'm a dickhead. Alice in Wonderland moment. Wonderland.
She said it in the hook.
I'm sorry, I was captivated by her.
You and me both.
Let me bring this down a little bit so we can talk. So yeah, she's fine. You just kind of get that out the way and stuff like that. She's definitely fine. The choreo, man, it's ironic and stuff because hopefully you guys are on the Patreon and should have saw the Baby Don't Stop versus Naughty. I love when you kind of get new elements to K-pop that like you haven't really seen.
Yeah.
At least to anything that we've watched, I haven't really seen like, I don't want to call it like rope work, but just kind of like the whole the interlocking of like the rope work and just kind of how she was able to kind of utilize that and play with it within like the choreography, I thought was pretty decent. Just also like some of like the hand stuff. And obviously the camera, to its detriment of the choreography, the camera movements were able kind of to help illustrate some of the storytelling a little bit more with the choreo when it came to like kind of those chopping of the hands and doing things and helping with certain angles and even little moments like that. But the choreo felt very fresh and unique. Yeah, all that to say, like the choreo felt super fresh. So like I was a big fan of that, and then just a big fan of like her cadence. The whole Wonderland, just like like it was kind of the melody was running into that, but she had like a lot of runs too, where it was I think sometimes we call it like rap singing, and to her it might have been like straight rap, but some of it came across kind of as like that rap singing where it's
she was
like
holding the note.
Yeah, like where you can get into it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It just was so much to love with this. I love the split. They fucked me up. And the little flip thing, and also the background. Obviously, it's a performance vid and stuff like that, but the stuff they were able to do kind of with the space it just all felt fresh and unique. Yeah. Just because even that, we're used to the studio tune type videos where you're basically in an all white room and they change the color palettes and it gives you that. That light setup behind her just for some reason feels fresh and new. And I like that a lot. Not saying like that this song and video like is the will or broke something.
Yeah.
But it just a lot of this like felt fresh and new, especially just for the one scene basically they were in the whole time. Yeah. But yeah, it's my spill. I'll jump back in. How did you feel?
No, I mean, to get that out the way, I mean, she's very beautiful, very captivating for sure. But it was like the fact that she did have the vocal runs that she was able to have here. I mean, she's clearly very talented. I love, everything within the performance as far as the choreography. And I'll get back to that in just a sec. But as well as like, as you had said, the more being able to hold the notes she was holding while she was actually, in the verse structure of everything and kind of rapping. And then when you look at what they did with the setting, as you had said, where it's not too intricate of a setup necessarily, where it's like essentially like all white sort of backdrop room kind of, and then the white aids the way the lights would bounce off everything, so you're getting the red strobe lights with everything, or I should say, the red strobe lights, I guess, for lack of a better term. But it was the way, and they used the white to kind of bounce off that, so it kind of magnified it and gave it this like hyper realistic almost setting, I guess. But I thought that was a beautiful backdrop, literally and figuratively, for everything that was kind of going on within this. To get to what they were doing with the rope choreography and everything, I had personally seen that in my other journey.
Okay.
As far as another group working with that. But it was something that was really well utilized here as well. And the thing that I find amazing about it in the context of this message is particularly, she starts off essentially being the one who's kind of captive in that situation. All the ropes are like wrapped around her. But then as you see through the progressions of everything, as she comes to, kind of learn everything, within the storytelling of the song, she ends up being the one who kind of takes charge by the end, to where now she's dragging all the background dancers and they're the ones struggling. So essentially, if these are your heartstrings and it's this like tight knitted kind of web as far as this thing that you're caught in, you can't get out or anything like that, and now you essentially go on that journey of being the one who's in charge of and discovering your feelings, and kind of being someone who is no longer bound literally and figuratively by like those limitations, those restrictions. So I think that the rope aspect of everything within that, and particularly with the background dancers as well, was something that really aided that message. So the fact that it is a performance video and it is meant to kind of elevate some of those things, I thought they did a really great job within that. Even at the end too, as far as the having the static computer glitch of the background almost seeming to say that whatever was binding you was like almost some Matrix sort of thing, where it was like it wasn't necessarily a reality, but it was something you had to kind of warp your mind out of, or warp your heart out of, I should say. So I just found that really interesting nonetheless. And the fact that it ended kind of on the, like the blackjack sort of note, the ace and the queen, I just thought that was a nice little touch as well, with everything. And then, you know, having her kind of in that setting where she literally is in the seemingly like Wonderland, at the end of it, like I thought all that was done really well as far as the technical side of the production, the camera work, the choreography, everything that was kind of aided within that. But then her, you know, individually as a performer, I mean, you were seeing the incredible choreography she was doing. I love the production on this as well with the beat and everything. The rapping, as you were saying, with the way she was flowing and everything. And then lastly, just the vocals and everything. So it was like, you know, I'm not quite sure of anything about her beyond, you know, what we had just seen, but she's definitely an artist that, you know, I'd love to check out more work from her. For sure.
Yeah, I was looking at just like a little bit of information because I seen that she was born in U.S. She's from Oklahoma, 25 years old, and it looks like
She's
she
25?
was.
Say less.
It looked like she was on one of the American competitions, not America's Got Talent, but she was on one of these actually like American like competitions. I guess doing that and auditioning as a K-pop person through that. At least that's the information that, you know, I just seen real quick looking at it.
That's interesting.
Yeah, this is fire. This is definitely one of those tracks where if this was your first time like listening to the artist, I think this bodes well because it's not gonna have you do anything but kind of want to dive in deeper to get more information, find out who she is, where she came from, what other tracks she has, and just is this her sound? And also, obviously, she's American, but like, you know, she's has South Korean roots and does K-pop. Very interesting that all these basically like fourth gen groups, just how acclimated they are with English, or just how I'm not gonna say how important how important English is in K-pop, because I'm not like a gatekeeper. I'm not one of those people that think it's just like, oh, they need to no longer speak in Korean and everything needs to be like an American because it makes it easier. I'm actually the opposite. I kind of like keep things how they are because I think that makes K-pop unique. But with all that being said, I do like when these artists make like all English tracks and just kind of, I guess I want to call them crossover tracks, to where, you know, not only are these songs K-pop, but they could just be a pop song. You know, not only are, you know, these K-pop songs, but they could also be just a rap song. I feel like it's the best way for them to market themselves worldwide as well, and be able to garner themselves to a bigger audience than just over in SK. Obviously, I think everyone should be authentic to themselves, keep your roots and do music. I'm not gonna say the way it should be intended to be done, but just don't change who you are for people. But I love K-pop so much that I do want more people to like treat it better, and I want it to be spread worldwide. So I kind of enjoy these tracks that I'm not gonna say break the social norm, but get away from just some images that I think some people think are just associated only with K-pop.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, super cutesy and like, you know, some people, I ain't gonna say are very ignorant about K-pop, but it's a lot of people that just would see something and be like, that's what I thought K-pop was, versus like what K-pop really is. K-pop really is just fire ass music that's in South Korea, and that's really just it. And I just kind of want people to see that. So I like songs like this.
Well, it absolutely opens the door for, you know, others to kind of find and explore and go on their own journeys. So anytime you kind of are, you know, anytime you're able to stretch the boundaries of kind of, you know, your versatility as an artist, you know, whether it's multiple languages or multiple facets, you know, we see artists change entire genres, you know, entire languages, genres, convert from rapper to vocal, vice versa. I mean, so it's just, there's so much exploration artistically within the things that we've seen that, you know, it's strange, like kind of getting into this journey, you know, it seemed like the pillar of everything was like, oh wow, they can sing, they can rap, they can dance. You know, and if they're good looking too, on top of that, it's just another, you know, notch in their belt, so to speak. But you always thought that almost, I mean, at least I have, that was like the pinnacle, where it was like, you know, but that's really essentially the floor of K-pop. Like that's like what everyone comes out from the idol process or any of those things doing. And I'm not necessarily sure of, you know, her training or background in that regard, but just, you know, seeing another artist that just has all those things that is like, it's something we haven't explored as far as with this individual, and it just draws my curiosity so much more, you know.
To me too, it's like to piggyback off what you said. Well, first off, I'm gonna say this statement, and it's not really like to shit on America. The K-pop to me is like the equivalent of like the NBA or the NFL. Yeah. Anybody who's in the NBA or the NFL belongs there. Regardless of how people feel, like, you know, oh, this player on the end of the bench is shitty. That person is actually a world-class athlete and in the upper echelon of their respective field. So that person may seem ass when they on the court with, you know, like Steph, Giannis, LeBron, and other people, but to his contemporaries and to like his peers, that person is a world-class athlete. That's almost how the K-World is. It's amazing you said, like, yo, you think, oh, wow, this person can sing, dance, and, like, they look good. That is the floor of K-pop. Exactly. Everybody in K-pop can rap, dance, sing, and look good because that's the idol process. Outside of that, to me, it just turns into, like, you know, what does this person offer? Are they doing something new that we haven't seen? Does their voice sound a bit more unique than anything we've heard? Is their rap skills something where, you know, either resonates with me or the flow was so crazy, maybe it caught me off guard? What's their concepts? Like, you know, are they a writer? It's like, not like we're getting used to K-pop, but now I feel good that we're so involved. We're asking other questions than we would have asked last year. And I love that. I feel like it almost I don't want to say rejuvenated everyone's love for music, but I think it just brought us back to like a probably a time in our life. Because I'm pretty sure outside of, well, I ain't gonna say outside of it, a lot of people do have those periods in their life where like music was just booming. You could be like, yo, when I was 12 years old, this person came out, this person came out, this person came out. The older artists, they all dropped, and this was going on. K-pop feels like that. It feels like your blood boiling, like you back.
Yeah, it's almost strange in a sense where it's like you look back on eras and it's like that was this time, that was this time. It's like you feel like you're in the midst of like something that's only getting better, only growing, only, you know.
K-pop renaissance.
Yeah, like it's almost like, if I don't want to say like if you're a fan of rap or anything like that, you might, you know, look to like 90s rap
being
or
in the mix
like
when Biggie and Tupac was here.
Yeah, like it almost feels like people are gonna look back on like these eras kind of K-pop and just see it in that kind of light, and it's just it's a little, almost have to take a step back to kind of process that a little bit, especially, you know, just with us, you know, just, you know, being up here to react and everything like that. It just adds a much deeper layer to that. But all that to say, it's like, I just want to check out more.
Yeah, I'm pretty done too. Jump in the comments, y'all. Y'all got to give us more information about her. Let us know where we can check out like more of her work. If this is your first time on the channel, definitely subscribe. We have long, in-depth conversations here. We don't just bullshit y'all and be like, everything is good and just, you know, subscribe. We actually have real think pieces whenever we start talking, and we really dive into the music, the choreo, the looks, productions, you know, just everything involved with the music. Also, jump on the Patreon. There's a whole lot of other exclusive like content on there. Whole lot of other soloist stuff on there, live performances, dance practices, and things of that nature. But other than that, we love you guys. We're gonna holler at y'all.
Love you.
Peace.
Take